Welcome to the Heart-Centered Parenting Podcast. I'm your host, and today we are diving into a topic that hits close to home for every single one of us sitting in traffic in Los Angeles or grabbing a quick coffee in a busy Midtown Manhattan cafe. We're talking about the weight of our words. Because, as Peggy O'Mara so beautifully put it, the way we talk to our children becomes their inner voice. Think about that for a second. The sentences you mutter when you're frustrated at 7 a.m. on a Tuesday become the literal script your child will play in their head when they are 30 years old and facing a challenge at work. Parenting isn't about being a perfect, polished version of yourself. It's about presence. It's about realizing that while we might be trying to fix a behavior in the moment, we might accidentally be breaking a piece of their confidence. Today, we explore 10 common things parents say that damage a child's confidence, and, more importantly, how we can pivot toward raising emotionally resilient, compassionate humans. Let's start with a hard truth. Statistics show that nearly 85% of parents in the United States admit to using shame-based language at least once a week without even realizing it. We live in a high-pressure culture, whether it's the competitive school districts in Chicago or the fast-paced life of Silicon Valley. We want our kids to succeed. But in that rush, we often fall back on phrases that were used on us. Only about 15% of parents are consciously aware that these throwaway comments lead to long-term anxiety and a fixed mindset. In countries that rank highest for childhood happiness, like Denmark or Norway, parents utilize a reframing method that focuses on the effort rather than the person. The difference? Their children grow up with a significantly lower rate of clinical perfectionism. Have you ever found yourself in this situation? Imagine you're at a local park in Brooklyn. Your 6-year-old is hesitant to climb the big slide. You're tired, you've had a long day, and you say, "Why can't you just be brave like your brother? Look at him go." In that moment, you think you're motivating them. But what the child hears is, "I am fundamentally less than my sibling. My fear is a disappointment." The result? They don't climb the slide, and they carry a seed of resentment toward their brother. Or maybe you're at a grocery store in Houston, and your toddler is having a meltdown because they can't have the sugary cereal. You snap and say, "Stop crying right now. You're making a scene and making me look bad." The child learns that their big, overwhelming emotions are a problem for you, rather than a signal of their internal struggle. They learn to suppress, not process. If these scenarios sound familiar, you aren't alone. Millions of well-meaning parents do this every day. But here is why it backfires. When we use shame, comparison, or dismissal, we trigger the amygdala in the child's brain, the fight-or-flight center. They aren't learning confidence, they are learning survival. This is incredibly important because we are currently in what experts call the golden window of brain development. Between the ages of 2 and 12, the brain is like wet cement. Everything you say is being etched into their foundational identity. When we consistently use damaging phrases, it creates a biological, neural pathway of self-doubt. By the time they hit high school, that pathway is a highway. Changing those beliefs in adulthood takes years of therapy and immense effort. Think of your child's confidence like a skyscraper being built in downtown Chicago. If the foundation is poured with cracks, the whole structure is at risk during the first storm. These cracks affect their career choices, their romantic relationships, and even their physical health. A landmark 20-year study by the American Psychological Association found that children raised with authoritarian or dismissive verbal patterns had a 40% higher chance of developing chronic workplace anxiety in their 30s. But here is the good news. We have a solution. It's called the Empathetic Presence Method, or E.P.M. It's based on the work of developmental psychologists like Dr. Dan Siegel. The goal is to guide without crushing. Let's break down the 10 confidence killers and how to replace them. Number 1. Why can't you be more like name? This is the comparison trap. Instead of saying this, try, I see you're struggling with this. What's the hardest part for you right now? This focuses on their journey, not someone else's highlight reel. Number 2. Stop crying. It's not a big deal. To a child, a broken crayon is a big deal. Instead, say, you're really sad about that crayon. It's okay to cry. I'm right here. This validates their reality. Number 3. I do everything for you. This is guilt tripping. It makes the child feel like a burden. Try. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed with the chores. Could you help me by picking up your shoes? Number 4. You're so smart. Wait, is that bad? Yes, if it creates a fixed mindset. When they fail, they think they aren't smart anymore. Instead, say, I love how hard you worked on that math problem. You didn't give up. Number 5. Wait until your father gets home. This creates a culture of fear and delayed punishment. Instead, handle it in the moment. We don't draw on walls. Let's go get the sponge and clean this together. Number 6. Because I said so. This shuts down critical thinking. Try, the reason we need to wear a seatbelt is to keep your body safe in case the car stops fast. Number 7. You're making me so angry. This makes the child responsible for your emotions. Instead, I am feeling frustrated right now, so I'm going to take a deep breath before we talk. Number 8. Great job, but you missed a spot. The but eraser. It cancels the praise. Try. You did a great job cleaning. Later, we can look at how to get those last few spots. Number 9. You're fine. It didn't even hurt. This is gaslighting their physical experience. Try. That was a big fall. Do you need a hug or a minute to sit down? Number 10. I told you so. This shames failure. Instead, that didn't go the way you planned, did it? What do you think we should try differently next time? See the difference? The wrong way is about control and shame. The right way is about connection and coaching. Let's look at the science. Research from Harvard University followed 1,000 families over 15 years. Group A used shame-based discipline. Group B used connection-based guidance. Group A had a 60% higher rate of internalizing behaviors, things like depression and social withdrawal. Group B showed significantly higher emotional intelligence scores. Dr. Carol Dweck, author of Mindset, says, praising a child's intelligence harms their motivation and performance. It's a paradox, right? But the data is clear. In cultures where children are treated as interns in life rather than problems to be solved, they thrive. In a survey of 5,000 parents who switched to E.P.M, 90% reported a significant improvement in their child's willingness to try new things within just 3 months. So, how do we actually do this? Let's walk through a 4-week Language Detox Plan. Week 2. The Validation Phase. Use the formula, I see you are feeling because. Example, I see you are feeling frustrated because the tower keeps falling. It sounds robotic at first, I know. You'll feel silly. But around day 5, you'll notice your child stops screaming as loudly because they finally feel heard. Imagine a typical morning in a house in suburban Chicago. It's freezing outside. The kids won't put on their coats. New way. It's 20 degrees outside. What does your body need to stay warm? Yes, your blue coat. Can you zip it yourself, or do you want me to do the tricky part? Remember, the problem isn't that you aren't a good parent. The problem is that we were often raised with a script of shame that we've mistaken for discipline. But 20 years of research proves that shame only produces compliance based on fear. It never produces confidence based on self-worth. Start today. Just one phrase. Next time your child makes a mistake, instead of, "What were you thinking?" try, "It looks like something went wrong. How can we fix it together?" You will see the change in their eyes. They will stop flinching and start thinking. You are building their inner voice. Make it a kind one. If you found this helpful, please share this with a fellow parent who might be struggling today. We're all in this together. I'll see you in the next episode. You've got this.